So, all right, so we just did a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go deeper? I mean, is there like different levels to it?
Well, we do this different exercise 2 or 3 times during the weekend. One interesting one is we'll do it with, you'll have a partner and you'll start like halfway across the room and you'll walk toward them slowly.
Ah.
And just notice what feelings come up as you get slower and further away. This is one for women that ends up being very powerful. Sometimes we'll do it with women who have a specific issue around this, and we'll have them do it with a man, and they'll have permission to tell the guy to stop, to have him back up, to feel in control, and just notice their feelings through all of it.
Ah.
So all of it, it's about learning about relationship on this really visceral moment-to-moment level, seeing what happens in my body when I get close to somebody.
And just that you've been doing this for so long, what kind of reactions and I mean, do you talk about it afterwards? Is
Absolutely.
that part of it?
Always. Yeah.
So what's one of some of the more interesting reactions that you've heard and experienced that people have had?
Well, first of all, this is sort of this is our appetizer, and we'll do other exercises where we'll explore our ideas, and then we'll do some longer exercises where people have more time to have the focus on them for a longer period of time. A very striking one is called platform, where somebody will stand in the front of the room in front of everybody else and breathe and be present and just notice what comes up for them, which, as you can imagine, is a powerful experience and scary for some
Yeah,
folks.
scary for a lot of people.
Oh,
I bet.
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So you're standing in front of the whole group,
Right.
and you're saying what comes up?
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's a time to practice being authentic. And to do it in a situation where if you've got issues about approval, it's going to come up for sure.
Yeah, like I feel like people are judging me because of whatever. Or, yeah.
One of the powerful things that I see come up a lot and that we do a lot in platform is self-judgment.
Right.
So many people are affected by self-judgment. And one way that we make this really concrete, so they're not just talking about it in their head, is say, for instance, you were working on your self-judgment, and I'd say, pick out a mirror. Say you picked Erin. And so I'd say, now, Erin's going to be you. Right now, this is Pam. And you're Pam's judge. And I want you to tell Pam all the things you tell her in your head.
So I would basically be saying things to Erin that I might be saying to myself.
Exactly.
And then by vocalizing that, it's in a way it disempowers it.
Absolutely. The very fact of being aware of it, getting out of your head,
And
changes
you're like-
people.
And then you're like, I can't believe I said that. Like,
Right.
Like I've thought it so many times, but then when I say it, it sounds so ridiculous.
Well, we're not only ridiculous, but also
that I-
abusive. People got like, I would
Right.
never treat any other person that way, and yet I
Right.
treat myself that way all the time. And that changes people.
Right.
So that's one thing that we see come up a lot.
Which when you take it to the bigger community, the whole idea of being peaceful and loving, you really have to start by being peaceful and loving within yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And then once you can do that, then you become more of a peaceful, loving energy in the world.
Absolutely.
So this is a really core way to help the world to be a more harmonious, loving place to be.
That's absolutely our vision.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
And I think that there have probably been 600 people in the Eugene area who've taken Heart of Now. And I think that we really have changed parts of the culture already.
When are the classes and how people can get signed up that might want to go for this? Do you do it every week? Is it once a month, or how does?
We do it once every 2 months. We do a basics course, and we
Okay.
do some advanced courses in between. A long weekend out at beautiful Kindred Spirits, where Erin lives.
Right, which I'd never heard of Kindred Spirits. We'll ask a little bit more about that after Kim gives us.
And we have weekly practice sessions, which are also open to people who haven't done the weekends yet.
Oh.
Every Wednesday, we rent space at Unity of the Valley at 39th and Hilliard.
Oh,
Wednesday
okay.
at 7.
Oh, okay.
And I guess I'd like to tell people, before we even get into all the logistics, I'd like to tell people a little bit more about what goes on, because there's some
Okay.
other important aspects.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that's really unique about Heart of Now is the community aspect. We have a lot of assistants in every workshop, often more assistants than students. And the assistants are people who have taken the course before, and they're coming back to both grow themselves and to give to the other students. And having them there creates a container of love, which is really something I've never seen in any other workshop. And let me give you sort of one extreme example of how this can work. What we do is form a powerful community like a tribe. We did a workshop in California, and there was a woman who had watched her husband drown in front of her 6 weeks ahead before.
Wow.
She'd been very emotionally shut down since then. Like, it was amazing she even had enough courage to come to the workshop.
Right.
And she was, pretty much shut down. She kept trying to share, but there was like this big wall inside her she couldn't get past. And finally, it was on one of the breaks, she finally started emoting, and her best friend who came with her just grabbed her and like held her really tight. Mm-hmm. And we just said, drop the structure, we're just going to go with this. And we just watched her, and she held her, and the woman just began to wail and wail and wail. And she did this for about 5 minutes. Her friend was getting tired and says, my friend really likes to be held. Would somebody else come in and do this? So another person came and held her really tight for 5 minutes, and she just continued to wail at the top of her lungs. Uh-huh. And then a third person came in, and a fourth. And the fifth person came, and all of a sudden, her wailing began to slow and finally stop, and she looked at us and said, "It's over, I'm different now."
Wow, that's powerful. Wow. Because she felt this huge support for what she went through, and everybody was there for her, like you said, the container. Mm-hmm. And that's really powerful when people feel that they're not alone and that people care for them. And yeah.
And on a obviously not quite that dramatic level, that happens for people every course. People find out, wow, I'm not alone.
And isn't that, really the basis? I always come back to we are one.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I was reading this book recently, and it was talking about, I think it was an article in Alternative Magazine. It was about how as we broaden our consciousness, ourselves become bigger and include everything, and including other species and not just other people, but everything, the forests, the oceans. We are one. And in a way that sounds like these groups become one.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And I feel like there's two parts to it. There's when you come forth and you become comfortable with yourself and you become comfortable with sharing, and then when you hear other people do that too, all of a sudden you find all these common aspects that you share, and then that's what really brings that community together, because it's like, oh my God, everyone else feels a lot of the same emotions and feelings that I do about their everyday life, regardless of our age, regardless of our sex, regardless of what color our skin is. We share all these exactly.
Then we do different.
Yeah.
And we're constantly told how we're different. Yeah. And the whole, oh, you're a man, I'm a woman, you're from this socioeconomic background, da 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 da. And then instead of, hey, we all have these basic needs, and that's powerful.
And we'll walk around being scared that other people won't like us. And we're all walking around protecting ourselves. And people get to see, they drop their walls, and they actually act like their real self and find out, people like me this way. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a close friend that has issues with that, and he's always trying to impress people. And it's so transparent. It's like, people will love you just for who you are. You don't have to be this extra special, this, that, or climb 10 mountains or something. It's just, we really don't feel that way about what we love in other people. It's not that. Okay, so I think we're getting close to the end of the show, and I don't want people to get all excited about Heart of Now and not know how to plug into Heart of Now. So Kindred Spirits is a retreat center?
Yes.
Where is it located? It's out
southwest of Eugene, out Lorraine Highway. It's about 12 miles from town. The good way to get in touch with us is through Heart of Now, and we have a very close relationship with the Heart of Now community.
Okay, and Heart of Now?
You can reach us at www.heartofnow.org.
That's easy.
Or call us at 541-852-6352.
Okay.
And we encourage you to come to workshops. And also, if you're not ready for a weekend workshop, come to one of our great Wednesday practice groups.
Which is in Eugene.
Yeah.
At the Unity of the Valley Church.
At 39th and Hilliard.
Okay, well that's simple.
Also, our on Spirit Path Now, is that what it's called, Kim? Spirit Path Now?
Spirit Path?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Spirit Path Now is a kind of an online resource for spiritual gatherings and community events in the Eugene area, and that's also a great way to get in touch with kindred spirits.
Oh, okay. Larry, are we getting close?
We have 4 minutes.
Oh, we got 4 more
Wow, we've
minutes.
got wait 4 minutes.
Okay, so you said there was some other, I can just tap this, it will come back on. Some other exercises that you can go into more depth. I can just hold it too. So let's describe a couple of the other exercises.
Well, another exercise we do, and this is one we added about 6 years ago. And it really helped balance dark and light, because I realized that some people sometimes go into their darkest place, and we realize it's important for them to be able to come out and realize that that's not what life's about. It's really about our joy. So we have one exercise that people love. And you'll sit with a partner, and one of you will go first, and that person will simply ask the other person over and over again, what brings you joy?
Oh, and so that you get more, you probably start with the more superficial things, and then it gets deeper and deeper and deeper, right?
Right.
Would be my guess, yeah.
Because you have all those answers that you
Right,
think of
like,
immediately,
oh.
like,
Right.
it's like, oh,
Roller coaster ride.
Yeah, like it's also the way you see yourself, like, oh, I'm Aaron and I like to do this. But when someone keeps asking you the question, you actually ask yourself the question, what actually brings me joy, you know?
And I bet when you get down to it, when you get deeper and deeper, there's a lot of the same things, like being with people I love and being at peace and those basic human emotions that bring us all true joy, right?
Usually the person that we hear from the people who are listening, and I want to say yes to like most of the things you said, and it helps them remember what they are they find joy in, what they find passion in.
And I bet you there's some surprises for people too that they hadn't even really thought about. They're like, that's true, that does bring me joy, right? Yeah, because you're kind of tapping into the subconscious a little bit.
Yeah.
When you really start to go deeper, it
Right.
taps into things that you haven't consciously thought about.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Or sometimes you might like realize that what you're doing in your life, you're not including all these things that actually bring you joy. And I had some of those realizations. Like, I love all these things, but I'm not doing them.
Right.
So how do I take appropriate measures to start including these things in my life?
So you start to restructure your life so you can include more joyful things.
Yeah.
Because when you do joyful things, you become more joyful.
Bingo.
One of the themes that we have for Heart of Now is that learn to focus not on avoiding what you don't want, but on going for what you do. It's a different way of living our life. We had one, of course I remember, a number of activists came. And sometimes they got so caught up in their sorrow about the world, which was a real sorrow, that they forgot to like enjoy the reasons they want to save the world.
Right.
And they were able to like rediscover that. Like, oh wow, I'm
I
going to
can
orient my
totally
life around
relate to
these
that.
things.
Like going for walks in the forest that I love, that I want to protect,
Yeah.
is just as important as protecting the forest.
Yeah.
Because you need to be reminded of that, and you need to experience it. And if you just get caught up in calling your legislators and protesting, they're going to kill all the old growth, and then you're never experiencing the old growth. It's kind of silly. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Well, I really appreciate you guys coming on the show. I enjoyed this totally, and I think we are almost out of time. Oh, one more minute. So, heartofnow.org, Kindred Spirits Retreat Center, and Unity of the Valley, Wednesdays at 7. And what's the phone number again?
541-852-6352.
Well, once again, Aaron and Kim, thank you for coming on the show, and may there be more peace and love in our world, in our community, and in ourselves.
Blessings. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to Community Connected, and in your heart as well.